Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Mark, and in today's video we are continuing our series of ranking every single gun in every Call of Duty game from worst to best, the multiplayer guns at least, because we're not including campaign, like specific, one-time use campaign weapons or kill streaks that are like holdable. And today we're doing it obviously with Black Ops 2. We're going over all 39 Black Ops 2 guns from worst to best, because obviously we're doing it in chronological order. So we started with Modern Warfare. We just did the remastered version though, because obviously it's just the same amount of guns, but even more of them. Then we did World at War, then we did Modern Warfare 2, then we did Black Ops 1, then we did Modern Warfare 3, and now today we are ranking all 39 Black Ops 2 guns from worst to best. In my personal opinion, I am not a professional or anything like that. It's just my personal opinion on which ones I like the best. Obviously, yes, the ones that are better though do tend to be higher on my list, just because I obviously like to play with guns that are good, so that does tend to be how it unfolds and everything like that. But also, this is actually a little bit less than last time. Up until this point, every single one of these games had more guns in it than the last game before it. This is the first time when they actually went down in guns. The last one, Modern Warfare 3, had 50, and this game only has 39, and that's even with one DLC gun. This is actually the first game that ever had a DLC gun, which is obviously the Peacekeeper. But yeah, it's the only one. Which is pretty interesting. Also, we're not going to be ranking any of the grenades or melee weapons, because those are not guns, and I have a whole other video planned out for those anyways. The only melee weapon that gets an exception is the Assault Shield or Riot Shield in most games, but in this game it's called the Assault Shield, just because I feel like it doesn't really count as a melee weapon. It's its own little thing, and so I was like, all right, the Assault Shield will be ranked in all these. Spoiler alert, though, the Assault Shield is almost always at like the bottom of the list. So yeah, that's how it goes. Also, we're splitting it up into 6 tiers: the awful tier, bad tier, average tier, good tier, amazing tier, and the best tier, which are obviously the best. Song today is called Ninth Cloud by Zach Bryan. It is obviously a country song, but Zach Bryan is such a freaking banger. This guy is like my messiah. This guy is so good. I listen to him all the time, especially when I'm just like, for those who don't know, I've been grinding out like every Call of Duty, right? Because I need to be able to have all the guns, because I wanted to start doing videos that are like, using these certain guns in every Call of Duty or whatever, like kind of like what T-Dog Smitty does. I want to do videos like that. But I got an Xbox back in like 2019, and all my accounts were just completely wiped, obviously, because I used to play on PlayStation. So all my accounts were level 1. And so I've been grinding to try and get them all to a max level to get all the guns unlocked and everything, so I can do videos like that again. And so whenever I do that, I always just turn on some Zach Bryan in the background, just vibe out, listen to his music, and just play the game. And so it's a great song. Go give it a listen. Without further ado, let's go right into it at number 39, my least favorite gun in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which is going to the FHJ-18AA, or what that stands for, you may be asking. First hand job at 18. Good. It's a good thing you waited for that age. It's very good. And then the AA, I don't know what that stands for. Anti-air, I guess. Either way, it's the lock-on missile. It's the Stinger in Black Ops 2 is what it is, pretty much. And it's fine. It does its job, I saw a comment the other day where somebody was like, the hate for the Stinger is so ridiculous because everybody needs that one guy on their team that runs the Stingers to take down UAVs and stuff like that. Let me explain something to you, partner. First of all, there's default classes with the Stinger on, so you don't need to put this on a class. Just if they do start getting UAVs or attack choppers or whatever, and you want to take care of them, just switch to that class and then use the Stinger. Like, it's that easy. And second of all, if that guy was, instead of sitting there with a Stinger in his hands the whole time, waiting to shoot down things, was instead going out there and helping you cap flags or just kill the enemies, the chances are they wouldn't have those UAVs. So no, I do not like this gun. It's bad. Coming in at the number 38 spot is the Assault Shield. Like I said in the intro, these are pretty bad. There's really not much to say about the Assault Shield besides the fact that you can put this one on the ground. You can implant it into the ground and then sit behind it, kind of like just ployable shields in Rainbow Six Siege or something, or OSA shields in Rainbow Six Siege, which is, different from the other Riot Shields, but not enough to make it like worth running or anything like that. Obviously, some people do run these in like Search and Destroy to be annoying or whatever, and it sometimes works, but I just don't really see it working for the vast majority of people. Yeah, it's a bad weapon. Coming in at the number 37 spot is going to be going to the SMAW. It's not a lock-on missile this time, but it's very, very slow. However, the blast radius and the damage potential, the one-shot kill potential on a SMAW, is the highest of all the launchers. So that's obviously a plus, but also a downside. So which one would you rather have? Well, it's interesting. What are you using the launcher for? Are you using it to actually kill enemies? I would highly recommend using the RPG over the SMAW. I think it's just significantly better in every way. However, if you're using it to take down kill streaks, use the SMAW. This one's kind of iffy, because it's like right in the middle of the the two launchers in this game, where it's like it's not as good as taking out kill streaks as the FHJ, but it's also not as good as killing as the RPG. So that's why it's here at the number 37 spot. And obviously that means that number 36 is the best launcher in the game, the RPG. The RPG is, yeah, I think overall, the vast majority of players don't ever shoot down kill streaks in these games, unless they're very annoying kill streaks like Harriers or Modern Warfare 2. But for the most part, people aren't worrying about shooting down kill streaks. And if they are going to use an RPG or something like that, it's going to be to kill enemies, and the RPG is definitely the best one for that. Just because it's the fastest, you are the most nimble with it. It doesn't have the best blast radius, like I said, the small does, but it's just so fast and just so good to use overall over the small in every single right. And on top of that, it's just cooler. Like, the RPG is just cool. It's a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. Like, that's just baller. All right, coming in at the number 35 spot, kind of hurts me to put it this low, but you guys have to understand, it's the ballistic knives. The ballistic knives, first of all, could kind of, I guess, be classified as a melee weapon. They classify it as a special weapon in this game. There is a specials class, and so I do count it as a gun overall, and so that's why I'm including it in these lists. But yeah, it's obviously more for fun than it is for actually killing the enemies. You're not going to actually like use this in a competitive environment. You're just going to use it to be running around, having some fun with, and getting some cool clips with it or whatever, and that's fine. But overall, like, for actual like goodness, it's not good. And coming in at 34th place, yeah, it's the exact same thing. It's the crossbow. Like I said before, it's exactly the same as the ballistic knife. You're not using the crossbow to actually get, like, you know, good freaking kill streaks and to cap flags and go on the and like hold the hill with a crossbow. Like, that's not happening. You're just using it to get some cool, like, I don't know, cross the map sticks with it, or maybe like stick an enemy and he freaks out and runs into like two of his teammates and you get a triple kill with one crossbow bolt. Things like that are cool with this weapon, but obviously overall I would not recommend running the crossbow over many other secondary weapons in this game. And coming in at 33rd place, and the final one for the awful tier, is the only bullet weapon in the entire awful tier, because this gun is just so freaking bad, the SMR. I don't know what the SMR stands for. Super mediocre rifle. That's what it should stand for, because it's not even mediocre. Like, this is just horrendous. Super freaking measles rifle is what it should be called, because I would rather have measles than use this weapon. It's horrible. It's horrendous. It's the one-shot AR. Obviously, every COD has their like semi-auto ARs. This is this game's semi-auto AR, and it is horrendous. Most of the time, they're not great, the semi-auto ARs, but at least sometimes they could do some damage or something. The SMR is atrocious, especially since there's another semi-auto AR in this game that is just miles better than this in every single right. Alrighty, lads, but now we are into the bad tier. So guns in this tier, they're not awful. Like, you can get kills with them and stuff like that. Like, you can go on kill streaks if you're a good enough player, but the vast majority of players are going to be poop out of luck with these. Let's just leave it at that. And coming in at the number 32 spot is the Executioner. A lot of people hate the Executioner. It's like a shotgun pistol hybrid thing, and so you're really meant to use it up close and just spray the crap out of enemies when you round a corner and see them. But that I do agree that makes for some very, very unenjoying gameplay. So yeah, it's bad. It's not good. It could have made it into the awful tier, to be honest, but I do think it's a lot better than the I'd rather use the Executioner than the SMR. At least it's like cool and unique, whereas the SMR is just bad in every way. 31st place is a gun that there's like a cult community for this freaking gun out there. The CQB. I know the CQB stands for Close Quarters Combat, but CQB, I don't know how to pronounce that part. Either way, this gun sucks. It's a like 3-round burst SMG that looks very cool, actually. It looks like Legion's gun in Rainbow Six Siege, or the J2, I think is what they call it in Battlefield 4. It's a cool looking gun is what I'm trying to say, but it just performs horribly. 3-round burst on an SMG is just not the move. Almost every time, I don't think there's ever been a 3-round burst SMG that I like using. So yeah, this is not one of them. Breaking its way into Le Top 30 is going to a gun that's fine, but it's just, there's really no point in using it. It's the 5.7. The 5.7 is another, single shot pistol in this game it's fine. It's not a bad gun. It's not like horrendous, especially when you compare it to other single shot pistols in Call of Duty history. Like, it's a fine gun, but there are some absolutely overpowered secondaries in this game, and so why would you ever use the 5.7 over those? That's kind of the whole reason why, like, it's here at the number 30 spot. It's not actually horrible. It's not even worse than some of these other guns, actually, that we are still yet to come, but there's just no real point. Like, 29th place, as a matter of fact, is by far a worse gun than the 5.7 in my opinion, but it's like, again, there's at least a point to use this. It's called the SVU-AS, and the SVU-AS is for the guys that like the DMR style sniper rifles, the sniper rifles that have like pretty much no recoil but do not hit hard at all. They're almost never get one shots. They're a spray and pray sniper. That's what the SVU-AS is. It does serve a purpose, even though most of us don't care about that purpose, myself included. I hate that purpose. I don't like playing with snipers that way. I don't think most of us do. It does serve a very, very small community out there, and so at least it does that. Whereas the 5.7, like I said, it's just who's going to actually use that over the B-23R or the Cat 40. And 28th place is even another reason why you shouldn't use the 5.7, because it's a TAC 45. Yeah, the TAC 45 is an even better semi-auto pistol than the 5.7. There's just no reason to use the 5.7. There's no reason to use the TAC 45, which is why it's here at the number 28 spot. But there's extra no reason to use the 5.7. Again, the TAC 45 kind of falls down here for the same reason why the 5.7 is down here. The B23R and the Cap 40 exist. These guns are just kind of outclassed. Coming in at the number 27 spot, however, is just bad. It's just bad altogether. The M1216. It's like a weird full auto shotgun that every 5 rounds or so it has to like cock back or like reload this like round itself back up, rechamber itself. I don't know. It does some weird thing every 6 rounds where you gotta like click the mag real quick and you have to take a break from shooting. But it's full auto, and so with those 6 rounds you're doing okay. However, those 6 rounds, even though it's full auto, it's just like shooting a regular full auto gun, even at like point blank range. This thing is very weak for a shotgun. I don't think I've ever once gotten a single one-shot kill with the M1216 in core game modes. Like it's that bad. And coming in at the number 26 spot is not much better in any way, shape, or form. It's just that bad. The S12. Yeah, shotguns in this game are either very, very strong, as we'll see later on in the list, or very, very weak, as we're seeing right now. The S12 is horrendous. It is so bad. It's a semi-auto shotgun. It's not full auto. It is semi-auto. It's the sausage. It looks stupid. First of all, I just want to put it out there. I hate shotguns that look like this with the giant magazines hanging out the bottom of them. It looks like an assault rifle almost, but like weirdly wide. I hate shotguns that look like that. But even if it looked cool, I still wouldn't put it up any higher because it's just bad. It's almost never again a one-shot kill. This shotgun also has like an insane hip fire range for a shotgun too. It's really wild. Coming in at the number 25 spot is just, like, did you even remember this existed? It's called the QBB LSW. Like, obviously, yeah, now that I am thinking of it and thought of the name and everything, yeah, I remember what it is. It's the LSW. There's a lot of LSW guns in Call of Duty history. And they're the bullpup guns. They're cool. And so I remember it now, but like, dude, if you put a gun to my head and was like, hey man, name every LMG in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I would be a dead man because I would have been like, oh, okay, Hammer, LSAT, MK48, actually can't remember the last. I think there was one more and I can't remember it, but that's about it, sir. I'd be dead because who remembers the QBB LSW? It's not like, again, it's not bad. It's not so that like you're going to be using the QBB LSW and be like, this is horrible, but God, is it just like the worst LMG by far. And coming in at the number 24 spot, and the final one for the bad tier is going to the SWAT 5.56. There is actually a little bit of a cult community behind this gun as well. I know there are some SWAT enjoyers out there, because in every Call of Duty, there are obviously big fans of 3-round burst guns, and this is the 3-round burst assault rifle in this game. And so, yeah, people like 3-round burst weapons, and you know, so they like the SWAT 5.56, and there is a full auto attachment modification on the SWAT 5.56 in this game. So if you don't like 3-round burst, you can always change it to full auto if you want to. However, it just falls so flat compared to any of the other ARs in this game. It's just really, really, really weak. All right, but now we are into the average tier. So guns in this tier, they're average. They're fine in this game. They're fine in the grand scheme of Call of Duty games. They're fine. You're not going to be like absolutely blown away when using it. You're not going to get nuclears with it if you're just a regular player or anything like that, but you'll do fine. 23rd place is the Type 25. It's a full auto AR. That's fine. It's a bullpup AR. It has a lot of recoil, this AR, and I've never really liked how this one looks in particular. I always just kind of thought it looked weird, but overall, you know, some people might really enjoy it. It kind of is reminiscent of the Type 95 from Modern Warfare 3, and so that's cool. At least it's not 3-round burst. Coming in at 22nd place is going to the MK48, the Mark 48. This gun feels weird. There are a couple Black Ops 2 guns that like I feel like they just don't really belong in Black Ops 2, and this is one of them. This is like a gun where it's like, I think of like Modern Warfare when I think, because like Modern Warfare 3 had the MK46, right? And then the MK48 came out in this game, and it's just like, what? How is this the same time period? I don't, what happened here? Either way, the MK48 is obviously a pretty cool LMG in real life, but in this game, it's just another one of those ones that's like, it's pretty forgettable compared to the Hammer and the LSAT. Barely missing out on the old top 20 here. At the number 21 spot is going to the Vector K10, another SMG that's just so outclassed. Like, it's fine. The Vector's always been one of those, even in Modern Warfare 2 when the Vector first came out. I don't think it was in no, it was not in Modern Warfare 3, or it was not in Black Ops either. But yeah, so it was in Modern Warfare 2 and then in this game. And in both of those games, it's like, even in Ghosts, it's like these are guns that are just like, wow, they're just forgettable compared to the other SMGs. Like, they're not forgettable in other games. Like, again, in Rainbow Six Siege, I know I keep bringing it up, this is like my third time, but in Rainbow Six Siege, Goyo and Mira have a vector, and those guns are extremely strong. But in these games, they just really fall flat against any of the other SMGs. There's just a lot of better SMGs to use. They're cool looking guns, though. I will give them that. They look awesome. Breaking its way into the top 20 is the cowboy gun. Every Call of Duty has to have one pump action shotgun that just makes you feel like a man when you use it, and this is Black Ops 2's, the R870 MCS. It's a Remington pump action shotgun. It one-shots very consistently. It's fun to use. It's pretty easy to get their camos for. It looks okay, although I do think they went for like a modern / futuristic vibe on it. Like tried to make it like almost like a retro styling, where it's like it still looks like a classic shotgun that you would expect a shotgun to look like, while having futuristic bits on it. So it kind of missed the mark a little bit, I will say. But overall, it's fine. It just doesn't have the range you would want it to. Coming in at the number 19 spot is going to be going to the second best secondary in this game, but even though it's this strong, I still don't think there's any real reason to use it. The B23R. The B23R is cool for one thing and one thing only, and that's zombies. It's also a 3-round burst pistol, which is obviously pretty unique. Like, there's not a lot of those in Call of Duty history, so that's pretty cool. It looks cool too. I will say this, the B23R looks significantly cooler than the Cap 40. The Cap 40 does not look that cool compared to the B23R. But for zombies players, it's like the starting weapon that a lot of them buy because it actually makes sense to buy. It's a really good weapon in that game mode. It's a really cool gun, and I love it and everything like that. But again, the Cap 40 is just, God, it's just too good. It's just so good. It really doesn't make much sense to use this. Coming in at the number 18 spot, however, in the final one for the average tier before getting to the good tier is going to the MTAR. However, I did forget to mention one thing about the B23R. The Cap 40 takes a long time to unlock. It's the last pistol you unlock in multiplayer. And so until you get to that point, the B23R is probably going to be your main secondary. So that's another good reason about that gun. Either way, the 18th place is the MTAR. This is the starting assault rifle in this game, and it's a strong one. Almost every single starting assault rifle in Call of Duty history pretty much belongs right in this area. It's a good start, but are you going to use it over like some of the ARs you unlock later on in the game? Probably not. You're going to find one that's really overpowered, and you use that over it. But now we are into the good tier. So guns in this tier, man, they're handy dandy, ladies and gentlemen. These guns are so good that Judge Judy would have been like, you're free to go. Coming in at number 17 spot is the XPR-50. It's like, this is like this game's Barrett 50 cal heavy hitting semi-auto. You know, every COD has one super fast firing but very weak sniper rifle. That's this game's SBUAS. Then they have one like pretty slow firing, but it's still semi-auto, so you could spray it. It has a lot of recoil though, and it hits like a truck. That's this game's XPR-50. And then they have obviously their bolt action snipers. The XPR-50 is a fun gun to use. It's a unique gun to use too. Like I know people might not like it being all the way up here at the number 17 spot, but I love sniping in these games. It's a really fun way to play Call of Duty, obviously. And the XPR-50 I think is very slept on because the ballista and the DSR-50 are so broken. Coming in at the number 16 spot is a gun where if you're watching this video after playing the game only for like the first 2 weeks after it came out, you're probably like, how is it only 16? Because it was absolutely broken when it first came out, but they nerfed it into the ground pretty much. It's the PDW-57. Yeah, man. A super cool gun. Let's just put that out there right away. Everybody loves how the PDW looks. It looks super cool. I love this thing. Performance-wise, it's not the best anymore. It was great, obviously, when it first came out. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that the PDW, when it first came out, before pre-patch PDW, was unbelievably broken. But they patched it, and now it's just a pretty average SMG, especially when you compare it to the other SMGs in this game. Coming in at the number 15 spot, however, is going to go to one where it's kind of a guilty pleasure pick because it's the Hammer. The Hammer realistically probably doesn't deserve to be all the way up here at the number 15 spot, but I just like it. I like it so much. I love the design of it. That's really the big thing. It shoots very slow. Again, every COD game has that one LMG that shoots slow. Black Ops 3 was the Gorgon, for example, and in this game it's the Hammer. It's the slower. It's not as slow as the Gorgon. Don't get me wrong, but it is very slow, and it has a pretty decent amount of recoil. But it hits like a truck. It's designed like almost like a Scar style LMG, which is really cool. Overall, it's a super cool weapon. I don't think it actually is as good as I put it here. I just think I kind of like this one because of its design. It's also really good in zombies. Speaking of zombies, coming in at 14th place is the Scar H, which I'm pretty sure is not in any zombies map, is it? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I cannot remember ever being able to use the Scar H in Black Ops 2 Zombies. Some zombies fan is going to have to tell me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that in Black Ops 2 Zombies, the Scar H is like not available in any in any map. Either way, it's a really good gun in the multiplayer though. It's very good. It's just, again, it's a SCAR. Every time that there's a SCAR in COD, I was about to say it's almost always right around this area where it's good, but it's never like the best gun in the game. However, the TAC 56 is definitely one of the best guns in the game, so that I can't say that. But either way, the SCAR H is a fun weapon to use. It's a different one. And here it is. 13th place is the very first ever DLC gun we ever got in any Call of Duty. It is the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper was super strong, it was super cool, but at least it wasn't pay to win. There was, in my opinion, a significant number of guns in this game that were still pretty freaking busted compared to the Peacekeeper, but it was still pretty cool to see that you could get a DLC gun. This is where it all started. It's where it all started. And I know a lot of people, they don't like DLC guns in COD games sometimes because they say it's pay to win or whatever, but for the past 5 years now, every gun has been pretty much like you could get it for free just by grinding the game. And so I really don't see the hate in that. I get it during the supply drop era, especially Black Ops 3. Holy crap, there was some freaking busted guns in the supply drop, and that was so annoying, so it took forever to get them. But I get it, the hate for it during that, but nowadays it's fine. And obviously I do believe DLC guns bring a very keep the games alive. Let's just leave it at that. Like, imagine if COD just didn't have DLC guns right now. Like, goodness gracious, that would be boring. It would be so boring to play those games. But they do, and it's all thanks to this gun. So I gotta give her credit where credit is due. Coming in at the number 12 spot is the best shotgun in this game, and it's a very good one, the KSG, or the sniper shotgun. Pretty much everybody called it the sniper shotgun back then because it was exactly that. It lived up to its name. It had infinite freaking range, pretty much. Not actually, but it was absolutely bonkers because there was slug rounds, and so it would one shot at like almost any range. This is the type of instance where it's like a shotgun like this exists, so now why would you ever use any other shotgun in the game? You know what I mean? Like, why would you use the R870? Why would you use the S12? Why would you use the M1216 when the KSG is just so much better than it in every way? However, coming in at the number 11 spot and the final one for the good tier before we get into the amazing tier is the MP7, a pretty large drop down from the last MP7, which was obviously Modern Warfare 3's, and was, in my opinion, the best gun in that game. Spoiler alert for people who haven't watched that video yet. But yeah, the MP7 was absolutely cracked in MW3, and then in this game, I think it was just a pretty good SMG. It wasn't bad, obviously, it was still better than average, I would say, but when you compare them to other SMGs in this game, which, let's be honest, there are some broken SMGs in this game, then it does kind of fall a little flat on its face. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we are into the amazing tier. So guns in this tier are very good options. You can do some absolute damage with them. Are they the best in the game? No, but you're still probably going to use them from time to time just because it's fun to change it up, and these are like the second best. 10th place, breaking its way into the top 10 actually, is the only real secondary that's worth a damn viable secondary in this game, the Cap 40. The Cap 40 is just incredible. Like, why would you use the B23R? Why would you use the 5.7? Why would you use the TAC 45? Why would you use the Executioner over the Cap 40? Or obviously, why would you use any of the launchers or the specials? The Cap 40 is just insane. For those who don't know, it's a full auto pistol that just wrecks things. It doesn't look good though. I think I actually still, to this day, I hate how the Cap 40 looks. Coming in at the number 9 spot is another 3-round burst assault rifle, this time much better than the SWAT 5.56 though, the M8A1. The M8A1 is great, don't get me wrong, and it's like the final AR that you unlock in the game, so you get it at level 55, which is cool, and you'll probably use a prestige token on it because you'll want it again when you prestige. But overall, I think it is outclassed by a lot of other assault rifles in this game. I don't think it's as great as its little brother, the M8A7, which is just absolutely miles better than it in every way. It's a good start. Another thing I always didn't like though is I cannot be the only one that thinks this. I hate the looks of the M8s, the M8A1 and the M8A7. I hate both of them. I think they look just really weird. Coming in at 8th place, it's old reliables here again. It's the M27. The M27 is pretty much this game's M4. Every COD has an M4, literally every single one of them. And this is this game's. It's just so strong. It's so cool. It looks good. It has good iron sights. Everything about the gun is just good. And because everything is good, it makes it pretty amazing overall. Because every gun has like, oh, this is a good thing about it. That's a good thing about it. That's a good thing about it. But they always have one thing where it's like it's kind of bad in. Whereas the M27 is just good in every single right. And that's obviously enough to bring it up to the amazing tier. It's a good weapon. Coming in at the number 7 spot, and I think this is, I think this is the highest we've ever ranked an LMG in any of these lists so far, but then I forgot that the AUG H bar was in like the best tier for Modern Warfare 2 because obviously, but it is the LSAT. The LSAT is still absolutely incredible. It's not as good as the AUG H bar. I mean, the AUG H bar was absolutely just a freaking dump truck of a gun. That gun was unbelievable, but the LSAT is still very strong. It's the people that play with the LSAT yeah, it's definitely not fun to play against. Target finder, LSAT, camping, proning in their spawn, waiting for people to run by and just absolutely mowing them down. That's horrible to play against. However, there's no denying the fact that this gun is really, really good. And even if you don't play like that, it could still be really good. Coming in at the number 6 spot, however, and the final one for the amazing tier is going to the DSR 50. I think this is a perfect time to mention what I've mentioned every single other video so far, just because, you know, sometimes people, this is their first time watching a video or whatever. Obviously, sniper rifles are not the best weapons in the game for the vast majority of people, and that's the reason why I always bring up at the beginning of these that is my personal opinion, because yes, snipers are not going to be a competitive weapon for 99.9% of players in Call of Duty. Even like pro leagues, they don't use snipers because why would they over ARs? It just doesn't really make much sense. But there's also that aspect of having fun and doing cool things and getting excited when playing Call of Duties where these snipers come into play. That's where they're great at. They're just they're just by far the most fun guns in the games to use. They are by far my favorite class to use. I always use the bolt action snipers, and guess what? I am horrendous. I have a 0.4 KD in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm level 30 in that game on my Xbox. I have a 0.4 KD in that game because all I've been using is the intervention because I just love it. It's fun to play that way, and that's why these guns get higher than realistically they deserve to be, because again, 99% of us, if we use them, we're going to get, like me, a 0.4 KD. We'd have a better KD, we'd have a better win-loss ratio if we were to use other guns, but the fun aspect is what brings these snipers up there so high. And as for the DSR 50 itself, I know I just wasted a lot of time talking about something that doesn't actually apply to the gun itself. It's the slower but heavier hitting bolt action sniper. However, the ballista is consistently a one-shot anyways, so there's really no reason to use this over that. But now we are into the best tier. So the 5 guns in this tier, the top 5 in Black Ops 2, are absolutely incredible. Black Ops 2 has a very, very interesting gun roster where there are a lot of guns in this game that are just bad, just straight up horrible, not fun guns to use, not good, they won't kill fast. But then there are some guns in this game that are so broken that they would probably rival Modern Warfare 2 guns if they were put in that game. And these are those guns. 5th place is the Scorpion Evo, the fast firing, high recoil, very, very close quarter combat SMG of this game. And it's absolutely incredible. It shreds every single enemy except for the ones at range. Keep that in mind. You do have to be kind of up close to personal. That's why it's only here at the number 5 spot, but it is overall very, very, very strong gun. And it's actually unfortunate that we've never seen like a true remaster of the Scorpion Evo. But yeah, I forgot to mention like 2 seconds ago that, again, most Call of Duties, they're like the complete opposite of this, where it's they either are every gun is broken or every gun is bad. Like, for example, Black Ops 1. Every gun in Black Ops 1 is bad, which means that the guns that are just like average are actually the best, like the FAMAS and the Galil. Like, those are like guns that are just pretty much average in any other Call of Duty, but they become the best in that game because all the other guns are bad. And then there are games like Modern Warfare 2 where obviously every single gun in that game is overpowered. The unbelievably broken 2-shot kills are the best guns in that game. This game, again, it's kind of a weird combination of both. Either way, 4th place is the AN-94. I said the MAA1 is the last gun you unlock for the ARs class. Was I wrong? I actually started to think the AN-94 was. I think it was, actually. I think the AN-94 was the last gun you unlock in the ARs class. Either way, it's a very, very, very strong gun. And a little bit of a fun fact that I didn't know until one of you guys commented, which, thank you if it was you. Did you guys know that the first 2 shots at the AN-94 fire at double the rate of fire? And that's why it feels so good. If you land those first 2 shots, it's super fast to kill. It's a super interesting little factoid. Coming out 3rd place, though, I mean, this thing is just, yeah. It's the FAL OSW. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the SMR that I'm not the biggest fan of semi-auto assault rifles in these games. I just don't like semi-auto guns really that much, unless they're bolt-action snipers, obviously, or pump-action shotguns. But this is unbelievably overpowered. It's a 2-shot kill and fires as fast as you can pull the trigger, pretty much. And so it's pretty much a full auto gun if you have a good enough trigger finger, and it's a 2-shot kill with pretty much no recoil at any range almost. It is so unbelievably broken that I'm surprised when more people don't talk about this gun. Like, this gun is stupidly good. It's unbelievable. People will say like the AN-94 is like the best gun in this AR in this game. I heavily disagree. Use the FAL OSW. This thing shreds. It is literally 2-shot almost all the time. Like, it's actually truly unbelievable how strong this gun is. And I know some people do talk about it, and people do know this gun is good. Like, I'm not saying people think it's bad, but I don't think you guys think it's as good as it truly is. Go back and play Black Ops 2 and use the FAL OSW, and you'll be surprised. Coming in at 2nd place, however, is so freaking iconic, man. The Ballista bolt action sniper. It rivals the iconicness of the wonderful intervention that we all know and love from Modern Warfare 2. I would say like the 3 henchmen of iconic freaking sniper rifles in Call of Duty history: the Ballista, intervention, and the 3rd one would probably be what, like maybe the MSR. But honestly, I don't know. I think it's either the MSR or the Locust. I think those are the two options that would rival it, because everything from there on out, it's the AX50 from freaking Modern Warfare 2019. I don't know. It's tough for the third one, but the Ballista is definitely up there. It is so fast. It is so responsible, and not responsible. I always use that word responsible, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It's so predictable, I guess. I'll have to look it up after this. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's very, very, very good at what it does. The word I was looking for when we're talking about it was either dependable or accountable. I don't know exactly which one it was I was using, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to get at. It's very responsible at what it does, I guess. God dang it, I cannot think of the word I'm looking for. Either way, first place, the best gun in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is obviously the MSMC. I don't think it's really that much of a surprise to anybody. The MSMC is just incredible. It's also like incredible for absolutely everything. Obviously, it hits like a truck for an SMG. It has no recoil for an SMG. It has extremely good range for an SMG. It has a pretty decent fire rate. Its fire rate's fine. It has a normal amount of rounds in the mag. All that stuff is good and ready to go. But then everything else about it is also good. It handles well. It's a very fast gun. It has incredible iron sights. It looks cool. Your reload is pretty fast. It is just overall a extremely good weapon all around. There's no downside to the MSMC at all, and it makes for just such a good weapon. And it doesn't feel like a cheap weapon either. Like guns like the ACR in Modern Warfare 2 felt cheap. Like whenever I would get killed by the ACR in that game, I'd always be like, God dang it, that's so freaking annoying. But in this game, the MSMC feels like it deserved its strength, and it's like it doesn't really feel like it is just like two-shotting you, because it doesn't two-shot you, but it's just overall so good at every gunfight that you will be in. It's the jack of all trades, master of none situation, where it's like it's just good no matter what situation you're in, and that makes it the best gun, because every other gun has at least one situation where you're not going to do great in, like the Fallow SW. Fallow SW, someone runs up on you in the middle of a hallway, you're not going to kill that guy if he's got an MSMC or a Vector K10 or some sort of SMG or whatever, or even a full auto AR. Like, you're not going to kill that guy. It's an at-range gun. The MSMC will. It just always is fine in everything that it does. It's good. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video ranking all 39 Call of Duty Black Ops 2 guns from worst to best. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos that you see in the comment section down below. Check the old description for all the links to all my other channels and social media and all that stuff. And yeah, oh, I wanted to mention really quick, I have actually been thinking about doing, so obviously I upload every other day, and I do the ranking all lists and top 10 lists or whatever it may be every other day. But I was thinking about, would you guys want to see, you know how like Fortunate, the guy on YouTube, Fortunate, he does those videos like, do you remember this forgotten AR in Modern Warfare 2? And then he like plays a couple games with that AR and just like kind of goes over a quick little review of like all the guns in COD history. But they do like he has like a whole video dedicated to each gun. Would you want to see me do something like that? 'Cause I really want to. I think it would be fun to do. And so let me know if you guys would like to see that. Also, I am trying to do more like I said, challenge style videos, kind of like what T-Dog Smitty does, using every gun or using the best kill streaks or whatever, but also trying to do some more with zombies as well. So like, you know, doing the best zombies kills, or the best does like, you know, every zombies map, but only you only get the pistol, or every zombies map but you're stuck in the starting room, or every zombies map but there's no power, or whatever it may be. I'm trying to do things like that as well. Obviously videos like that would take more time to make for me, because I don't know really how to record my gameplay and stuff like that, and so it would take me a long time to edit things like that and everything like that. But I will be interested in doing those in the future, so let me know if you guys are also interested. Also, another video idea I had was just playing through the Call of Duty campaigns. If I was going to do that, I would probably just upload those all in like one big part, realistically, not like parts throughout the week. But either way, let me know if you guys would want to see that too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It's insane. We're almost at 300 subscribers already, so that's really awesome and mind-blowing. And Tas Vidania, have a nice night.